When you buy a plane ticket, you'll often see three-letter codes like BOG, JFK, CDG. But if you check a flight app or listen from a control tower, you might hear something like SKBO, KJFK, or LFPG. Have you ever wondered why a single airport can have two different codes? Today, I'll explain the difference between IATA and ICAO codes, what they mean, how they're created, and why they're essential in global aviation. What is the IATA code? The IATA code is a three-letter code mainly used by the public, airlines, and airports in commercial and logistical operations. We see it on electronic tickets, baggage tags, departure and arrival screens, and even in flight promotions. And to make this clearer and more engaging, from now on, we'll pronounce all codes using the aeronautical alphabet, just like professional pilots do around the world. This way, you'll recognize and even practice how these codes are spoken in real-life aviation. And if you don't yet know the aeronautical alphabet, or want to master it, check out the previous video on the channel where we break it down letter by letter. After watching, these codes will make much more sense. Let's see a few examples. Bravo, Oscar, Golf. This is the code of the city of Bogota and its airport, El Dorado Airport. Juliet, Foxtrot, Kilo. This is the code of the city of New York and its airport, John F. Kennedy Airport. Charlie, Delta, Golf. This is the code of the city of Paris and its airport, Charles de Gaulle Airport. Echo, Zulu, Echo. This is the code of the city of Buenos Aires and its airport, Ezeiza Airport. Lima, Alpha, X-ray. This is the code of the city of Los Angeles and its airport, Los Angeles Airport. These codes are assigned by IATA, the International Air Transport Association, using a mix of city names, airport names, or even historical references. But be careful, they don't always match the current name of the city. For example, Oscar, Romeo, Delta. This is the code of the city of Chicago and its airport, Chicago O'Hare Airport, but comes from its former name, Orchard Field. Yankee, Yankee, Zulu. This is the code of the city of Toronto and its airport, Toronto Pearson. But why the double Y? We'll explain that shortly. What is the ICAO code? Now let's move on to the other type of code, the ICAO code, or OACI, its name in Spanish. This is a four-letter code used in the professional, technical and operational aviation environment, by pilots, air traffic controllers, navigation systems, flight planning systems, and airport infrastructure. Here are some examples. Sierra, Kilo, Bravo, Oscar. This is the ICAO code of the city of Bogota and its airport, El Dorado Airport. Kilo, Juliet, Foxtrot, Kilo. This is the ICAO code of New York City and one of its airports, John F. Kennedy Airport. Lima, Foxtrot, Papa, Golf. This is the ICAO code of the city of Paris and one of its airports, Charles de Gaulle Airport. Echo, Golf, Lima, Lima. This is the ICAO code of the city of London and one of its airports, Heathrow Airport. Sierra, Alpha, Echo, Zulu. This is the ICAO code for the city of Buenos Aires and one of its airports, Ezeiza Airport. ICAO codes are regulated by the International Civil Aviation Organization, a specialized agency of the United Nations, in charge of regulating civil aviation worldwide. Each letter has a geographic or technical meaning. For example, Sierra indicates that it is an airport in South America. Kilo indicates that it is an airport in United States. Lima indicates that it is an airport in Western Europe, such as Spain, France, and Italy. Echo indicates that it is an airport in the United Kingdom and part of Northern Europe. Yankee indicates that it is an airport in Australia. Charlie indicates that it is an airport in Canada. The following letters further specify the country and then the airport. How are these codes created? IATA codes may seem random, but there's often logic behind them. They can derive from the airport name, the city, or even historical context. Let's see some examples. Lima, Alpha, X-ray. LA, from Los Angeles, and X added when three-letter standards began. Mike, Echo, X-ray. Represents the acronym for Mexico City. Sierra, Charlie, Lima. Represents the acronym for the city of Santiago in Chile. Golf, India, Golf. This code is because the Galao Flame Airport is located in the city of Rio de Janeiro. Juliet, Foxtrot, Kilo. This airport and code is honor of President John F. Kennedy. By contrast, ICAO codes are highly structured, and not intended to be memorable to the public. Let's see some examples. In Colombia, all ICAO codes begin with Sierra, Kilo. For this reason the codes begin with these two letters, such as Sierra, Kilo, Bravo, Oscar. This is the code of the city of Bogotá and its airport, El Dorado Airport. Sierra, Kilo, Charlie, Lima. This is the code of the city of Cali and its airport, Alfonso Bonilla Aragon Airport. Sierra, Kilo, Romeo, Golf. This is the code of the city of Rio Negro, Antioquia, which is located the airport that serves the city of Medellin. Jose Maria Cordova Airport. And these are some of the cities and their codes. In next videos we will see more cities and codes. Now we will see some examples in Argentina where all ICAO codes begin with Sierra, Alpha. Here are some examples. Sierra, Alpha, Echo, Zulu. This is the code of the city of Buenos Aires and its airport. Ezeiza Airport. Sierra, Alpha, Mike, Echo. This is the code of the city of Mendoza and its airport. El Plumarillo Airport. Sierra, Alpha, Charlie, Oscar. This is the code of the city of Córdoba and its airport. Aeronautical Engineer Ambrosio Taravella Airport. This system helps organize the world's airports geographically for safe and standardized air navigation. Little-known curiosities. Let's look at some curious facts that reveal aviation's history. Let's look at some examples. And we'll explain why there are so many Y letters in Canada's IATA codes. Oscar, Romeo, Delta. In Chicago, as we mentioned, it comes from Orchard Field, its original name. Yankee, Yankee, Zulu. It's the code for Toronto, and this city and most of Canada come from the old radio station identification system. In Canada, most airports begin with the letter Y, historically, where the stations used a Y to indicate the word yes when they had radio equipment. Over time, that letter Y remained a standard part of the country's IATA codes. Delta, X-ray, Bravo. The IATA code for Dubai. To avoid using a vowel between the D and B, they added an X to avoid confusion with another existing code. Papa, Echo, Kilo. For the city of Beijing, or Pekin as it was formerly known. The code is still used due to its old romanization. In Pinyin. And a fun fact, some airports share the same name, but not the same code. Here's an example. Lima, Oscar, November. This is the IATA code that groups all London airports. Heathrow, Gatwick, Luton, among others. But each airport has its own specific code. Lima, Hotel, Romeo. This is the code for Heathrow Airport. Lima, Golf, Whiskey. This is the code for Gatwick Airport. Lima, Tango, November. This is the code for Luton Airport. Conclusion. As you saw, although the IATA and ICAO codes seem like simple combinations of letters, they are actually key pieces in the enormous puzzle of global aviation. IATA codes are everywhere when we travel, on tickets, on airport screens, and on luggage tags. ICAO codes, on the other hand, make precise coordination between pilots, control towers, and flight routes possible, even though we almost never see them. Understanding this difference not only makes you a more informed passenger, but it also connects you to the incredible system that keeps the skies running every day. And if you're still thinking this is all very technical, just remember that thanks to these letters, your suitcase didn't end up in Uzbekistan when you were headed to Cartagena. If you enjoyed this journey through the codes of the air, like the video, and subscribe to this channel. Here we explore together the secrets hidden behind each flight, curious codes, iconic routes, legendary planes, and much more. Haven't you seen the video about the Aeronautical Alphabet yet? It's the perfect complement to this episode. Go watch it after this one, and discover how pilots communicate flawlessly over the radio. Thanks for joining me today. See you next time. Goodbye.